May 14, 2023. I have rented myself a U-Box following the instructions of the Spirit. And it's not an easy thing to do, but I'm just going with it. So I've emptied the content of my home in preparation for what is to come. I have no idea when this is going to end. I've rented this until the end of July, and I might have to extend depending on what the Spirit does. Greetings, everyone. Do you hear what I just said? Listen, if you're going to be married to me, you have to be a very special kind of person because you heard what I said in the beginning of this video. Yeah, I was going with what the Spirit was showing me. And I posted these pictures or videos of my knives turning on the back. And I was doing that since end of March, early May. And I knew that it meant that my journey in that space was coming to an end. And I didn't want to believe it. I was not ready. I had done so much work on my house, renovated it, and loved it. And then Spirit started talking to me with these knives. At first, I tried to ignore it, but as you'll see in this video, it kept happening. So this video, there's another clip coming up with the knife on the plastic, and these are two different knives, two different situations, same knife, but two different days, because that bag, I usually keep frozen vegetable in it. So it's just a natural occurrence for me to be preparing the vegetable and put the knife on that plastic. So two different events. And you'll see that there are different knives and different positions. And the one that really blew me away when I finally said, okay, Spirit, I hear you, was when it fell on top of a bowl that had a spoon and, a ladle in it and still stood on the back. And I was dragging my feet at first until my neighbor started acting up. And I knew right there and then that the Spirit was saying, if you do not listen to me and you get comfortable, you will not be in peace because you can't say no to the spirits. And so the journey started. I can't say I was rebellious, but I did drag my feet a bit. Because when the Spirit is telling you to do something, you don't have a choice. And especially with me, I've surrendered myself, my body, my mind, my spirit to be used. This is the picture I'm talking about. When this happened, I said to my husband, we have to go to the U-Haul place to get some moving boxes. And he asked no questions. He just said, when? Got up and we went the next day. So there's the second picture, even though it looks like it's the same, but it's just a different day. Now, I started thinking about my garden. You see, even though we are not supposed to get attached to things, we do get attached to things. And, my garden was just coming into bloom, early spring, late spring, sorry, and about to enter into the summer when I started getting these messages. And of course, I had to consult the Spirit. I had to pray and ask and fast and to see that I was in alignment with what they desired for my life. So, of course, this is a session where all of these flowers are from my garden. And, the salts, cleansing salts, purifying salts are stuff that you can find on my website. And so on this particular day, I needed to get more answers. I need to really get into that part where I separate myself from everybody except those who are in my household to really get the direction and the true answers for what the spirits was asking me to do. It was not an easy thing. This is why I tell you people, when the spirits are asking you to do something, it's never going to be easy. It's not going to be something where, oh, no problem. No, it's going to be a test. It's going to be a trial, but you have to show your obedience. Here I have a empty house. I cleaned out the stuff that was in there and I put the storage in the box, in the U-Box that I showed you at the beginning of this video. And Spirit just continued to lead. Sometimes just a word. Now in this picture, the house is sold. Well, it's supposed to be sold, but the story is going to come about that. When I thought it was sold, it was still not sold. Listen, the Spirit will throw you into an wrong, like when you're traveling and you have to stop at a destination and take another plane to go to your final destination. So here we are packing. Here we are signing away. OMG. So many things happen. Wow. If we get to understand our relationship with the spirits, if we can really truly connect with these spirits and listen carefully and follow their advice or their instructions, you can never go wrong. That doesn't mean you won't feel pain. That doesn't mean you won't experience stress. That doesn't mean that you will not find yourself kicking and screaming. But at the end of the day, when you surrender in obedience, you see, the whole thing about charity, for those of you who have joined me recently in trying to make a positive day happen for some people, it's not because you give why you're going to be blessed. It's because of your obedience when the Spirit says yes. If you're not told to say yes, you're not encouraged to say yes, do not. It's not for you. But when the Spirit says do it and you don't do it, it's a whole other story. My moving truck packed and my husband moving our things to a storage. I've never done that before in my life, ever. I've never moved from one place, put my stuff in a storage, and then I have to move. No, this is a first. And that's why it's so exciting for me because I'm just waiting to see how it's going to unfold. Thank you guys for watching and supporting me and sharing my content and watching the what do you call it? The ads. Please watch the ads. Jenny could use the money, and I don't always get paid on YouTube. When I argue and fight for my money, I usually get punished. So just listen to the video. Thank you very much, and just listen to the ads as well. Thank you. More to come. The story gets even more interesting. In order for any relationship to work, there has to be not chemistry as people like to say, but synergy. So from the day I met my partner, I knew something was different about him. The way he spoke about life, the way he understood God, is something that caught my attention and made me take note. And if he was someone else, we wouldn't be where we are now because a lot of men would never agree to their wife saying, "Oh, God says we have to leave." That is pure madness. But until you are prepared to be seen as a crazy person, you will never hear from God. You will never hear from Yah. You will never be able to do big, great things. There's a certain element of risk that is involved in trusting in the Most High. And that is what we did. And so when I told him this, it was inconvenient, but I would never make these things up. And I would never put myself or my family in any uncertainty. I would never jeopardize our safety or our security. If I'm saying the Spirit says, then the Spirit said it. And I love my family. But if my spirit guides say, do this, and they're not in agreement with it, that's fine. I'm just going to go do it by myself. And so I am very grateful that I do have a partner that trusts and believe in the spirits. And I've seen enough and know enough to understand when they're at work. And, as I share more of this journey with you, the experiences of the past and those going forward, you'll understand how it took very special people to be able to work with me, especially realtors. And I would say from time to time, I would drop hints that there are people who I had to fire because they were not working in alignment with what the Spirit said. I understand that it didn't make sense to them and I didn't give them a lot of details. I just have to say no to this, no to that, yes to this, yes to that. And if they wasn't listening, they had to go. I was guided every step of the way. At times when I felt tired or I felt weak or overwhelmed, Spirit will just send a word. It could just be a message from one of my subscribers. It could just be a song. It could just be just some random message on a billboard. Just the messages were coming to give me the strength when I was getting weak and when I was getting discouraged. And let me tell you, there was a storm. There was a storm. When the spirits are working, expect the other energies to come and to throw you off, because if it's a test, it is not going to be made easy. And so a lot happened, a lot, even as we speak. But I trust my Yah, and the things that we were brought through, this is nothing for us to worry about. Hope you're inspired. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned. Look for the videos. They're going to be coming. The stories, part 1, 2, until we move into our new home. Stay blessed, everyone.